What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, so this video I did, oh man, over a year ago. And I remember when I did this video. And people had a fit about the things I was saying. So when you go to this video, I want you to pay attention to what I was saying and think about where we are now as a society and see how far off I was, okay? What is going on out there, peeps? Man, this video is going to be one of the most important videos I've ever done. It really is. Everybody that is a citizen should be pissed. This is the type of stuff that's happening behind your back without any input from you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. First of all, we got Pimpy's investment chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we talk about investment opportunities. For those of you who don't have Facebook, I do have a Twitter account. Please go to the description and follow the links to all of those I just mentioned. So we're going to talk about China's social credit system. For those of you who are unaware of what this is, you should pay attention because it's here now in the United States. So I found this older video. I found a more newer one, but they're playing music in there and I didn't want to get hit with the copyright. So I'm going to let this gentleman explain to you real quickly how this works.
Nobody does authoritarianism quite like China. By 2020, every citizen will have a social credit score that will go up and down based on their personal behavior. Behavior leading to a deduction in credit will include jaywalking, bad driving, smoking on trains,
Dear passengers, people who travel without tickets or behave disorderly or smoke in public areas will be punished according to regulations, and the behavior will be recorded in the individual credit information system. To avoid any negative record of personal credit, please follow the relevant regulations.
buying too many video games, buying too much junk food, buying too much alcohol, calling a friend who has a low credit score, merely having a friend online who has a low credit score, posting fake news online, criticizing the government, visiting unauthorized websites, walking a dog without a leash, letting your dog bark too much. At least in 19...
Do you see what it does? The state or the government determines what will cause a deduction and what will cause an increase. Could you imagine that? Seriously, with everything that we're seeing going on right now, with the people on the left trying to violate our constitutional rights at every turn. We see this at college campuses. They don't let right-wing people speak there, violating our First Amendment right. They want to take away our gun. Our Fourth and Fifth Amendments have already been taken away when the NDAA was passed. All these things are happening. All your constitutional rights are being removed systematically under the false umbrella of safety. You should never, ever, ever, ever sacrifice your rights in the name of safety. Not ever. So China, this is from 2018. This is 2020. China has launched it. If you speak out against the government, they lower your score. Here's the thing. If your score is too low, guess what? You can't travel. Can't get a new car. Can't get a new home. If other people socialize with you and you have a low score, they lower their scores. Basically, what they do is alienate the people with the low scores. Now, I know a lot of you are like, man, this is America, man. That ain't going to happen here. We got the Constitution. It ain't going to happen here. It's already happening now. On social media platforms, they got so-called community people who determine what is fake news and what isn't. They can either put a fact check under your post, shadow ban you, remove the post, or remove your entire profile, or suspend you. They're already doing it, a form of it. But that's not even the good stuff, because it's about to get worse. Now keep in mind, the Great Reset is talking about this technology. I told you the Great Reset is a move to worldwide socialism. Actually, it's communism. I also told you that the Democratic Party slogan, Build Back Better, comes actually directly from the Great Reset. Their goal is to move us into a one world government. And for those of you out there talking about, oh, where they're going to make you take the chip or else, you don't get to eat, yeah, it's here. Believe it or not. I'm going to show you. Looky here. In a facial recognition bill backed by Microsoft, how is it that anything Bill Gates is associated with seems to be in the limelight of everything that's wrong right now? Remember, it's his vaccine that has a little microchip in it, and that's not fake, by the way. It's real. They talked about it on the news. This chip is in your body, and cops can wear these so-called smart helmets to scan the chip in your body. It's here. That's not fake. In a facial recognition bill backed by Microsoft, 3 words stand between citizens and their civil rights. The headline tells you right there that they're going to violate your civil rights. In Washington, the first U.S. state to pass a law regulating facial recognition, it's illegal for government agencies to use facial recognitions to deny citizens access to basic rights and services. I'll repeat that. It's legal for government agencies to use facial recognitions to deny citizens access to basic rights and services. And for the record, I'm pretty sure this isn't the first state to pass a law regulating. Okay, so I'll say facial recognition is in New York as well as other states. So the AI-powered system must be subject to meaningful human review. You know, kind of like the way social media does. Can you imagine this? Look how conservatives are attacked all the time on social media platforms. Censored, removed. Can you imagine this? Those same people we're supposed to trust that watch over our social media platforms trying to accuse us of passing off hateful speech or misinformation when we talk about the truth. So those same people will be part of this meaningful human review to determine whether our government has a right to violate our basic rights and services. Let that sink in. Oh, it gets worse. Under the law's definition, so long as a trained human being has power to overturn a machine's decisions, governments can use facial recognition systems to deny people access to loans, housing, insurance, education, jobs, healthcare, food, water, or their civil rights. No, you didn't mishear me. Let me repeat what it just said. It says under the facial recognition system, or the government can use the facial recognition system, let me get the words out, to deny people access. They're denying you access to things that you need to survive. Loans, housing, insurance, education, jobs, healthcare, food, water, your civil rights. This law was passed. Did you know about this? Did you see it on any ballot? I don't remember ever hearing about this. The law leaves private companies' use of facial recognition unregulated. So when you talk about getting that chip or whatever, because if you don't, then you don't get to eat and all that, here it is. It's not a chip. It's AI technology. It's a computer chip that's monitoring what you do. And yeah, if you get that Bill Gates vaccine, it does have a chip in it. They're trying to do like China. This is here now. I don't see nobody up in arms over this crap. People should be raising holy hell. Washington's law was written by a Microsoft employee. It was written by an employee of Microsoft and passed with strong lobbying support from the Seattle-based software giant. Let me repeat that one part. And passed. This law exists in Washington. And now those 3 words are spun in copies. You ready for this? Because they're not done. After state legislators introduced the bill in January 2020, the same time China launched theirs, lawmakers in California, Maryland, Idaho, and South Dakota took up similar bills. These are very clear violations of our constitutional rights. They have nearly identical languages about human review. Again, think about this. Think about the hell we go through on social media platforms. YouTube demonetizes you or removes you. Twitter removes you. They'll remove your posts. They'll fact check you. Can you imagine these same people in charge of this system here? That based on the way it's used will determine whether you can eat, have a job, water? It's here. I'm showing you it's here. In the absence of federal regulation on facial recognition, state and local governments have begun to fill in the gap with a patchwork of their own laws. So your local government, your state assembly people, your local people, they're already filling in their own gaps in the different laws. Did you know about this? Did any of you get a chance to vote on any of this whatsoever? Tech companies led by Microsoft have dispatched lobbyists to state capitals across the country to support loose regulations on facial recognition instead of bans that would squash the development and the sale of the technology. So they're starting off at the state level. Just like China did, they launched out beta testing. This is already here. The fact that a lot of these bills look like each other and match what the tech companies are calling for is just evidence of their influence. By getting out ahead of the calls and bans on moratorium and stricter regulations, it allows them to steer the conversation better. So these tech giants are getting way the hell out of control. They are way too powerful as it is. Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Google, and they are about to get a lot more powerful. Civil liberty watchdogs worry about looser regulations, which allow companies to keep their facial recognition business intact. Will leave citizens with fewer protections. When Washington's bill passed in March, the local ACLU chapter pillared the meaningful human review clause, which is said is not a sufficient safeguard against the misuse of facial recognition. Have you heard about this? This is the sneaky crap that they're trying to do when you're not paying attention. So our local legislators, without asking us to vote on them, are passing these laws that violate your constitutional right. This is part of the Great Reset, by the way. Bill Gates is working with the Great Reset on the same technology to go worldwide. People refer to output from computer decision support systems rather than using their own judgment. Meaningful human review is a deeply flawed concept and should not be used to justify use of facial surveillance technology to make critical decisions, especially ones that determine whether a human being can have a job, have health care, go to school, eat, or drink water. This New World Order movement is getting worse and worse. Some of this stuff is already out there and we haven't even been aware of it. So basically what they're saying is this: the tech companies, no problem. We understand that sometimes the AI makes errors, but we will supply you with a trained human being who will review any complaints and they will decide. I live in California. This is liberal hell where all the tech companies are. Can you imagine the type of hell they would unleash on people who are conservatives or don't think the same way they do? They would deny these people, they would deny people like me access to education, a job, water, food. I won't go down this whole thing, but you can just see here the Washington law and the mere bills in California, which I don't know anything about this. And now I got to do research into California. But you guys should be looking. If any of your states are up here, you really need to start researching it, getting the word out, organizing groups to say something to our local legislators. So it's in California, Maryland, Idaho, South Dakota, contain identical, imprecise language that leads it up into the interpretation. So again, it's something similar to what I read up above. This violates our rights on all levels. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because, again, it's part of that whole Great Reset. They want to do this worldwide. So I told you, the bail-in, they had a practice place. It was Cyprus. They just wanted to see what would happen. This coronavirus outbreak is bullshit. This is another test. We got to stop tolerating this stuff. You got to stop letting the media convince you that it has something to do with a moral agenda, whether it's something to do with race relations, anti-fascism, or orange man bad, because these people are screwing us over and it's quickly taking place. As usual, I will leave a link to this article so you can read it for yourself. But make no doubt about it, this is here. We really need to start standing up for ourselves, man. We're so distracted. All right, you guys, that's it for now. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. Please like and share.